EA Sports college football coverage continues on this Saturday with a mid-afternoon clash. It ought to be a sensational game. It's the Virginia Tech Hokies and the SMU Mustangs. Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer with you, and Holly Rowe is down on the sideline. Hello, Holly.
The Pony Express put SMU football on the map, and Gerald J. Ford Stadium continues to shine. Opened in 2000, its capacity of 32,000 has grown over the years. The SMU Mustangs are high on the success of last season and hope to pack the pony again this season. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Holly. Looking forward to see how this one goes. So SMU's kicker headed to the football to start this 2026 season. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They give it to the freshman, his first carry. Crosses the 30 to the 31 and a 6-yard pickup. Guys, let's step back here and chat Virginia Tech. The good news about starting the season outside the top 25, not a lot of lofty expectations. You can sneak up on a few teams, but sooner or later, you're going to want to get that attention and get into those rankings.
A lot more, but it's not impossible. In recent years, you saw it with Indiana coming out of absolutely nowhere. You saw it back in the day with USF. You've seen it with Rutgers. Like, in the past, you can do it. You can put it together, gain some momentum, but it starts with this game right here.
TCU reached the national championship game a few years back, and no one expected much of them that season either, so you never know. What's important is what people believe inside your own locker room. This team thinks they can do some really special things this year, and they get a chance to start strong here in week 1.
This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
And that just shows you the team speed this defense has. As soon as they identify who's got the ball, they are around and surrounding that ball carrier so quickly.
Back to pass. Quickly to the tight end. At midfield, he's got room. And the defense finally able to corral him at the 45. That will move the chain.
I know he's got the height and the weight of a tight end, but, man, the way he runs routes and how good he is with the ball in his hands, it just reminds you of a wide receiver. He's so athletic. This is a guy that has a basketball background in high school, and you see it pan out. Every time he has the football, he just looks like the best athlete on the field. For a big guy, very, very unique.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
A good job by this defense. Great job in the secondary. Eyes on the quarterback. They took away the first option, made him go to option 2, made him go through his progression, and then they got time to get home and get a hit on the quarterback.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Running inside. It's Overton. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws for the tight end. A strike downfield. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22.
And it's on 3rd downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
They feed him again. There's a crease. Defense comes up with a stop, but not before he moves the chains and takes it inside the 10 to the 8.
You've got to be loving what you're seeing from your offense here on the opening drive of this game. They're in a really nice rhythm. They've got real good balance going on right now, and they've got the defense on their heels.
The Hokies trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line.
And for quarterbacks throwing the ball down this close to the goal line, because there's so many bodies in such a small space, oftentimes routes take a little bit longer to develop, and it forces quarterbacks to have to hold on to it a little bit longer. That's the risk and danger with throwing the ball so close to the goal line. You might get sacked.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Wide out trying to get it in. Touchdown, Hokies! And they strike first.
What an exciting way to start this season. This offense had a plan. They knew who they wanted to be, but you had to come out and execute it. And that was a beautiful first drive, creating some momentum, not only for this offense, but for this squad to start the season.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. 75 yards on the touchdown drive, and they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. Fielded in the end zone. It's Hale. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Receiver going in motion. They'll get the transfer rolling with an early carry. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
And a lot of times the fit up front, you know, linebackers are fitting holes, and that ball bounces, and it's supposed to go somewhere, and sometimes it goes to a DB, and the offense will get a W. Like, they'll get a win because you'll break a tackle. How about the tackle by that young fella? I know he likes to cover, but I love the way he comes up and makes the tackle.
Back to throw, it's Jennings. Pulls it in, it's Cooper. Coming out, attacking from deep in their own end, and they're out at the 26 for the first down.
And when you run these drag routes, it's super important that your quarterback can really use his eyes. Don't lock in where everybody's going to start looking at you and seeing what's coming. Does a good job, drops back, sees it, and the most important part, puts the ball out in front so he can catch it, get upfield, and make some extra yards after the catch.
That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Running back searching for a hole. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Third down conversions, always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. Quarterback making adjustments. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on third down. Fist up in the air. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. Fourth down, baby.
He gets a block. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stopped. They'll start this drive from their own 35-yard line. They'll run the counter. Oh, he's got some space. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
That's a really good-looking run there. And you think about great Hokie running backs in recent years. David Wilson, Lee Suggs, Kevin Jones, they all have the ability to shake defenders and break ankles. This guy right now giving you some of those vibes with that last run. That was nice.
Makes a man miss.
And I like the thought process on offense here early in this game. They're giving their bell cow the ball early enough. And there are a lot of coaches that outthink themselves, and they think, you know, we're going to throw the ball to set up the run instead because everybody on defense knows our guy is the focal point. But this offense is just keeping it simple. Let's just give our best player the football early in this game, and let's just get him into a rhythm.
That's it for this period, and it's Virginia Tech on top as we get a look at the stats. They flipped into the field, and we're ready to play. So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Looking to fire. Unloads to the wideout. Soft spot in the middle. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down. And the Hokies come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Now from inside the red zone. Pressure in his face, and he lets it fly.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell in.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. Fires to the right. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, now this offense building that lead. It's still the first half, but I tell you what, shown some glimpses of why they can become a really, really good offense. Listen, you go into halftime, more of the same, right? Continue to do what you're doing, take care of the football. This offense has looked really good in the first half.
And he puts through the extra point. He's going to take a chance from midway in his end zone. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Mustangs offense is ready to go on the attack. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. They'll go right back to him. Tried to fight his way through that tackle, but he's brought down.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Wants to throw. It's Jennings. And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete.
Great job by the defense dialing out some pressure on 3rd down. They hit the quarterback and forced the incompletion.
And the Mustangs will call on their punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Looks it all the way in and now turns his attention upfield. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up the big return. And we're about to get another look at this Hokie offense. They've had a really productive first half so far, and they'll try to add to it here. The option, the keeper. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Got it in the middle. It's Overton. Gets it to the 42-yard line, and that's a 1st down.
I like how this offense throws to their running backs in different areas of the field. It's not always going to be to the perimeter. It's not always going to be screens, but they can attack the middle of the field, too, using these angle routes. Nice play call.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
And that's a really good job by this defense. A complete defensive effort. When the back end makes the quarterback hold the football a little longer than he wants to, and then the pass rush gets home, hits him, and forces the incompletion.
On 2nd down, he'll try to make the connection this time. This time it's complete.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
They've got a 3rd down and manageable from right around midfield. They'll try to pick up the 1st through the air. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
Wants to keep it in the air. Here comes the heat. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Well, he was hoping to make something out of that return, but they'll have it 1st down at the 39.
Man, that is picture-perfect cover zero. When I play cover zero, I'm bringing pressure, and then that ball's going to come out. Look at the defense. Ready for that ball to come out of the quarterback's hand. Nice job breaking on the football and going and making the interception.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Little over-anxious out of the stands early, and it's a false start. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Concentration is key. Have to know the snap count. The false start backs them up. It's 1st and 15. They're trying to find some room off right tackle. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. Got Guys, let's have a look at SMU. You start the season top 25. Clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every opponent one at a time.
Going downfield for the big play. Intercepted to stop the threat. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
And that's why as quarterbacks, you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching it. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
Didn't find a lot of room. Let's give him 2 out to the 20.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. They'll move the tight end. To the air on second down. Throws to the wideout. Incomplete. Big fight for the ball, but it falls to the ground. After the second down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. And he just throws it away on 3rd down. I don't think you can give up on a play like that.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They had given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. 3rd down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. They'll put it in play from the 36 for the first play of the drive. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. Well, it's 1st down and the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Dropping back, it's Jennings. And he drops it. Just took his eye off of it at the last minute.
We know this guy's a weapon, not just taking handoffs, but he can catch the ball too. That play, not so much. Got to do a better job reeling it in.
They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40. This quarterback part of their running game. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. Clock stops as Virginia Tech calls its first timeout. And now everybody chiming in to figure out how to play this 4th down. The Mustangs line up to punt it away. He shanked it. And the punt goes out of bounds. We'll check the spot. Think they'll have it right around the 40-yard line. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. On the run, it's Overton. Turns it on in midfield. He's up to 55 yards rushing, and that is quite an impressive first half here in this season opener.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
Just gets rid of it before the heat. He just treated that thing like a hot potato, and they're going to call him for grounding. With that penalty, the offense is backed up on second down. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. The sure hands. It's Heath. Several defenders get an assist on that tackle.
A really nice job by the quarterback, putting some extra heat on that throw. As a defensive back, I'm going to drive to that curl, try to get there really quick to try to break up the pass, but when the QB puts it that hard on the money with that much accuracy, really hard route to defend.
Out of the shotgun on third down. On target. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the first down at the 34-yard line. Virginia Tech wants to take a moment. They call their second timeout. And they'll still have one in their pocket for what's left in this first half. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Overton. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop. The Hokies come to the line in the hurry-up. Off play action. Here's a Heath. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to find another play. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. They'll throw on third and short. Got the back over the middle. Touchdown, Hokies! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
They have been road warriors here in this game, coming into a tough environment, but in all 3 phases, they have been absolutely dominant. Their defense is not allowed a point, and the offense is going up and down the field, and they score another touchdown here before the end of the first half.
And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. He'll bring it out. It's Hale. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Just enough time for one final play of the half. The give on the inside. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. And we are headed to halftime. Both squads headed into the locker room to make some adjustments. Gives us an opportunity to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football Studio Update.
Thanks so much, fellas. Here inside our EA Sports Studios, welcome into the Week 0 College Football Update Show. We start with Oregon, taking on the number 16, the Miami Hurricanes. And it's the Ducks, setting school records in multiple offensive categories in one of the highest scoring games I think I've ever seen. 2 teams who were very familiar with the end zone today, pushing them to 1-0 on the short season. Here now, some other games you may have interest in, and social media has some sharp opinions about the state of things right now.
The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. There's still plenty of time, but you see that 21-point deficit, and there is a sense of urgency now.
Coming into this game, man, the focal point was on the running back, right? We've got to stop the running back. Talking to these coaches, they've got to be physical. 1 guy, 2 guy, 3 guys have to get there. Man, they've done an unbelievable job being physical, getting him on the ground, and really shutting a great player down so far this game.
Oh, it's a fumble. And they were lucky that fumble went out of bounds. They'll maintain possession. Now there's still a Mustang who is unable to get up. That is the senior tight end who's shaken up. We'll have Holly Rowe check on him. They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. Wide receiver comes in motion. Quarterback keeper. Pickup of 5. It's now 2nd and 5.
And it's not sexy, and it's not these long plays all the time. But this QB does such a good job of picking up 4 to 5 and making it where you're always ahead of the sticks And just letting you know, we'll run it. We'll take advantage of this guy's speed, and we're going to make you defend him throughout this football game.
Got a little work done on first down. Now back to the line. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. To the air, it's Jennings. And the rush will get to him at the 25.
And that was a big objective for this defense coming into the game. Talking to coaches, we want to keep him in the pocket. We don't want him to use his wheels. He's fast, he's elusive, can make big plays. Nice job by the defense keeping him in the pocket and getting the sack.
And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Handoff from the gun. Could be an alley. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down.
And I think one thing people don't take into account is not all fourth downs are created equal. Like, right, this is a shorter fourth down. You're on your side of the field. You're down. You're trailing in the football game. So I think this offense might have to take this opportunity to be aggressive, try to make this fourth down conversion, and try to go down the field and get some points on the board.
They stop him immediately, flying down the field, and get to him before he can even get started. Virginia Tech opens this drive as the offense looks ready to go. Off the play fake on first down. Finds his big tight end. Runs through a man. He might have space. Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the first down. Many times the Hokies have had a dynamic threat running the ball at quarterback, but you got to be efficient like this in the passing game.
No doubt, and you got to have some balance on offense. You got to be able to make those plays down the field in the passing game to make you honor it, get some guys out of the...
Turning it on! And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks.
And that would be the definition of first down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's second and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice first down execution.
Second down, he'll throw it. He gets rid of it, but I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, here comes the flag. This third down a little longer after that penalty. Looking for a man. It's Ryan. Moving out to the right. He's going to run it. Across the 50 and knocked out of bounds at the 48. An explosive play gets this offense working.
And usually when a QB takes off and scrambles, it's because the defense didn't do a great job keeping lane integrity, not keeping him in the pocket, letting him get outside, and then he can do damage. And it's the next play that you have to play instead of this just the original pass. So defense has got to do a better job of keeping that guy in the pocket.
Escapes the pressure going right. Powers through the defender. Didn't find much running room there. Picks up a few before he's forced out of bounds.
I love it. The defense brings extra bodies near the line of scrimmage. They choose to blitz, get to him, try to speed up the processor just a little bit, force the scramble, no damage done. Nice job by this defense making him think really quickly and make a decision.
Motion from the back. After run, now throw. Quickly complete. There he goes. And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22.
Come on, defense. What are we doing? I mean, you can't miss this guy. He's like literally the biggest dude on the field. That time, completely wide open. That's way too easy for the offense. He caught the football. There was nobody even near him. Someone on defense has to locate this guy. They've got to communicate to each other if they're passing off in coverage. You can't let that guy be that wide open.
Finds his big tight end. They make the stop, but not before he sets them up with a 1st and goal from the 10.
Man, nice job getting the ball out of his hands quickly, understanding the big fella's open. And the big fella, I don't mean an offensive lineman anymore. That's what tight ends used to be, is just an extension of the O-line. These guys are now extensions at receiver. They can make big plays, get him the ball.
Touchdown, Virginia Tech! Quick strike through the air for the score. This dude is just running amok for the Hokies, both through the air and on the ground.
He's just doing some serious damage. And whether it's running, whether it's throwing, this guy has been on point, making you think of some great names like Mike Vick back in the day that just electrified Virginia Tech fans.
And they did tack on the extra point. Coming out with it, it's Hale. They'll corral him and get him down at the 17-yard line on the return. They'll get this drive going from the 17. On the move. Pushes ahead for 1. It's 2nd and 9.
You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a 3-yard gain.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
To the air, it's Jennings. A little release to the back. Could not make his way to the corner.
Man, that is so much easier said than done. To be a linebacker and have to play the run and then break on the running back and then tackle him in open space, like you've got to be a really, really good athlete. It started with his eyes, seeing the running back creep out to the flat, breaking on it, and then being physical for the tackle.
He'll field the punt and try to get some yardage. He's got great speed. Looking for running room, he'll get it to the 43-yard line before he stops. Good field position here as they start this drive from their 43. Looking for a gap. It's Overton. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Virginia Tech is on top. And it hasn't been much of a contest as we take a look at the overwhelming game stats through 3. As we enter the 4th quarter, let's see if anything memorable can come from this one. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. They'll leave it with the lone back. And he was able to run through 1 tackle, but still only a modest gain.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
He'll throw on third down. Makes the grab. Breaks into the open. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31.
Well, we see another catch by this guy, and this defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're able to drag him down to the ground as soon as he catches the ball.
He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
I love the QB here. He holds it, he holds it, he holds it just long enough to let the receiver run the drag route, and then he puts it out in front of him so he can catch it on the run in stride and then turn upfield to use his speed.
And the Hokies will line it up on 1st and 10. They're looking to pass from the red zone. Going for 6. Touchdown, Hokies! What a catch in the end zone for 6.
I got to be honest, as a guy that used to play for Steve Spurrier, I never have a problem watching offenses continue throwing the ball when they've got a big lead. And that's what we've seen in this one. They're way up on the scoreboard. This coach is still letting this guy chuck the rock. That now his 5th passing touchdown, and I believe you keep throwing it until the defense proves they can stop you.
And they tack on the extra point for a 35-0 lead. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. SMU's offense headed out onto the field to start this drive. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. May not be the most memorable play of the day, but it's important as he gets them out to the 25-yard line.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Pressure coming, and they got it.
And this has been one of those days you want to forget. I mean, you're getting drummed. There's no other way to put it. It's been a bad day. I'm trying to put a drive together here, maybe to just get some kind of momentum, something positive, maybe something in the locker room we can talk about that didn't go wrong.
Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. He might want another play. Looking to pass. It's Jennings. Fires to the wideout. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
And it's going to be difficult for this offense, man. Just where are they going to find the plays? You can tell the defense sitting back. They're playing nickel. They're playing dime. So you need some receivers to step up, make some yards after the catch, some contested plays. This offense has got to do something, and they got to do it quick.
And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Here comes the Hokies offense to start this possession. So your defense has done yeoman's work. The idea, don't make any mistakes here. Take care of the ball and preserve this shutout. And he's left with no option but to
nice to be a QB in this spot. He's had a great day, man. Like, great day. They've built a huge lead now. Incompletion's okay. Just take care of the football. Don't throw that thing to the other team.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Almost had the completion, just missed it.
Ooh, there's an example, Jesse, of a receiver making his quarterback look bad. Most of the time, they make it look good and cover up for him. All those balls y'all don't throw online, but oof, that would hit him in a pretty good spot. He needs to come down with that one.
Dropping back, it's Ryan. They're working that left side.
Nice execution by this defense. One of the strengths of this offense is 3rd down. They're really good at it. They were ready. Nice job getting the guy on the ground, forcing the 4th down.
You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. When the defense got the stop, they could have used a few more of those earlier. Still a big deficit here late. He gets nothing, and they're staying stubborn with this running game, but at some point, you're going to have to change your thought process.
And we knew the linebackers were the strength of this defense, but coming in the offense, man, they felt really good about their running back. And so far, man, it's been a fun matchup to watch, but advantage to these guys that have been filling gaps, scraping, getting to the football, making plays. This linebacker unit really held down this rushing attack that they usually hang their hat on.
Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get into the ground. You want many guys swarming to the football.
Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Got some room to run. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
And all this defense has done all game long is be absolutely dominant. They have been shutting them out, whether they've tried running it, whether they've tried throwing it. They've been creating takeaways. You get the pick 6 right there. You just can't say enough good things about how this defense has played today.
And they pick up the extra point. Kicker knocked it right down the middle. He'll bring it out. It's Hale. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. The Mustangs offense is ready to go on the attack. When the defense got the stop, they could have used a few more of those earlier. Still a big deficit here late. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
Love the push by the offensive line on that RPO play. Look how they just work the single teams and the double teams. You see linemen chipping off of their guys and climbing into the second level and getting a hat on the linebacker. That's why those types of plays are successful.
All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. The big pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him,
Oh, he's got some space. And this defense's head is spinning. He gets it down to the 27. Mustangs call a timeout. It'll be their first. And they can take a moment to try to build a little momentum, get the right play called after picking up the first down. And the Mustangs will snap it on 1st and 10. Here comes the option. He'll toss it. And he's swallowed up immediately, stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
And I think that time the quarterback made the wrong read. He was trying to pitch it. He didn't have to, though. There was a lot of green grass and space out in front of him. If he just holds on to that football, he might not score a touchdown, but he's definitely going to be able to at least...
Lets it fly deep downfield. And he's got it in the end zone for a touchdown. It won't matter much in the outcome, but a little extra stat padding is nice.
and a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Heath. They drag him down at the 22. He gambled for the big return out of the end zone and came up a little short. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Tight end now in motion. On the ground, it's Overton. Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29. They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. And they'll spot it at the 38, and that'll be plenty for the first down.